Dear Bhante, dear Dhamma friends, this is our last date of our retreat. And as far as the schedule is concerned, this is the time for the question and answer session. So, as a preparation for that, there are some written questions. I'll start with them, and if there are any other remarks or questions, meanwhile, you may as well raise as the session is going on. The first question goes like this. Bhante, can you talk about the art of letting go and forgiveness? Has Buddha mentioned this in detail in any special suttas? In fact, when you are reading any particular sutta, the underlying current is to indicate that the letting go, because as far as the Four Noble Truths are concerned, the truth of suffering is the first one, and then cause for suffering is the attachment. So out of the compassion, the Buddha says, unless otherwise you are prepared to let go, there is no end to this perpetuation of suffering. So therefore, you must learn this letting go, but the letting go itself by the mere nature, it is not natural for someone to do, so therefore someone has to restrain, someone has to train it, and even then it is not according to our senses, not according to our egoistic idea, so therefore you have to train it in such a way, make it a habit or make a art to happen in the day-to-day activities. Ultimately you can go for the more serious things also, to let go likings and disliking, to let go your personality traits. So in order to that, at the beginning you have to do letting go of the ordinary things. So therefore Anupubbi Kata is basically based upon this Anupubba Sikha, Anupubba Kirya, Anupubba Patipada, or Anupubbi Kata, that is gradual training, is based upon this Dana Kata, Sila Kata, Sagga Kata, Kamanang Adinavang Okara Sankilesa, Nissarana Sansang, Samukkansika Desana. Starting from the generous action. And there are 10 standard things has been enumerated, listed. The food, drinks, and dwellings, clothings, transport facilities, flowers, incense, lamps, all what is necessary for one's comfortable life, you must give in order to alleviate other suffering. That is to well-being of the others. And when then that is happening, it is materialistic kind of letting go. But when it comes to the moral training, you are giving fearlessness to the others. At the beginning you give material for the well-being of the others, but the moral concern means that fearlessness, not to kill, not to steal, not to have sexual misconduct. That means not to create any kind of a fear or anxiety to the other psychologies and verbal misdeeds also. So it is higher grade, exactly the kind of dana. So therefore the Buddha says in Arya Vinaye, in the sentient beings, the materialistic dana, and as far as the noble beings, the biggest dana is giving the fearlessness, not to kill, not to steal. That is the Arya Vinaya Agga Dana Maha Dana Yadidam Panatipato. Not to kill, not to steal is the biggest thing the noble people can do. then only you will come to understand whenever you are restrained from the moral restrainment. If you are to maintain this integrity, the moral life, you will understand you have to restrain not only the verbal and physical, the mental training also necessary, otherwise you may transgress at a time due to the internal obsessions. So you have to take care about this obsessional kind of defilements. That is how the concentration meditation happens, and there you give up nivaranas, you give up sensuous desire or hindrances. Then it's completely mental sphere. And instead you gain the mental factors, jhanic factors, and with that ultimately at the in wisdom training you give up the underlying tendencies as to the self-desire and self-annihilation, this kind of not the tip of the iceberg, but what is suspending under the iceberg, which you can't see, that is the part you are dealing with the wisdom. So there also you have to get rid of, but this subconscious or the suspending part under the iceberg is not by mere appearance as defilements or any other wrong thing. It appears like general tendencies, but whenever they get the chance, they become defilement and ultimately going to destroy your reputation, your well-being, your peace of mind. So that is how the wisdom training, ultimately you give up all your traits, all your tendencies, and that is the way the letting go is being placed in order. And in that sense, when you are doing that, first and foremost you have to forgive yourself. Because if you are going to say that I am a person very crazy, I can't give, that hate never help you. Instead you have to understand that is the way the sansaric journey is. It is happening in a way that we are accumulating in order to have our self-gratitude or sensuous gratification. So therefore this is a part and parcel of living. So therefore don't criticize yourself. It is, you have to understand, and instead you have to train restrainment. The day you forgive yourself only, you can understand your neighbor. You can understand the other co-practitioner. Otherwise you will always entertain the fault finding of the others. It is a craziness. Fault finding of the others is it's a kind of a torturing. So first and foremost you have to forgive yourself, and that is also an art. So that you will learn basically by associating noble friends, because otherwise you don't know the amount of self-hatred you are dealing with in a day. Throughout each and every action you have the self-hatred. Throughout it is there. Very difficult for you to understand, and that is how this tension, the anxiety, the neurotic and the hysteric misery, everything is due to the self-hatred. And sometimes we consider it is as our human right. Self-hatred is our human right. I have my right to be angry. Why not? You can be angry. This so much so we are crazy. Unless otherwise we see our image in the real image in the mirror, or real image with the association with a good friend, how much we are creating internal hatred, torturing. And therefore, first and foremost, you have to forgive it, and then only you start to live. You start to live your aesthetic life, the beauty of the life, and then you understand that it is not a must. Of course, even though many are adorning with their self-hatred, it is not a must. You can do away with that. Then only you can forgive others. So therefore, it is the way called the highest culture of human, highest gentlemanship, highest restrainment, then only you will be civilized. Then only you will be uplifted. Then only you will be noble. Otherwise you are plunging into the dirty part of the defilements. Ultimately you are the one where feeling the wear and tear and the friction. So if you to come up and see the self-hatred, you will be slowly feel lighter and uplifted and be cultured. So it is whole message of the Buddha is comprising this letting go and the forgiveness.
What would your prescription be for removing the self-hatred?
So if it is seeing it as it is, understanding the friction, understand the friction between the brain and the heart. So then you can understand why there is so much of creative thinking. Why you are thinking of the productivity? Because you are not happy now. They are not happy present moment. Till that you understand and be happy with here and now, you have to understand each and every creativity is a hatred to the present moment. Each and every creativity is a hatred to your present nature. The day you become contented, now it's okay, this is the what maximum we can go, then there is no fighting, there is no one-upmanship. There is no one looking him down and I am up or I am loud. All these goes. So therefore the children, they are living in the present moment, everything is okay. And they are not thinking about the research and productivity and nothing. They are happy. They have no other dimension to think about. They are putting up with present given. But we always looking at the carrot, chasing to hold the carrot. The donkey is behind the carrot. So our government is putting the carrot all the time. And the advertisement is always refreshing the carrot, but it is waving as if that you can catch it. But never. Never you can catch the carrot. Best thing is to be happy, be here and now, and then you have to learn from the flowers, you have to learn from the birds, you have to learn from the children, and then you have to learn from the noble beings. They are happy. Therefore, one nice American book, I don't know you are aware of that, Pollyanna. It says you must find a reason to be happy or reason to be glad under any circumstances. Then you are there. Then you can be a Pollyanna. Find a reason to be glad under any circumstances, and then we have 1,000 and one reason to be happy. But instead we are going to say that we are lacking this one and that one. It is burning, it is torturing, no end. So therefore try to be a Pollyanna. How does one deal with fear? So the Buddha says the fear is the term for defilements. The common term for the defilement is the fear. So whenever we have the fear, that means it is representative of defilements. So uncertainty, alienation, fear, cornered and outcasted kind of thing is a sign of liberation. So therefore Eric Fromm it put fear of freedom. Even though we are freedom fighters, whenever the freedom comes to us, it appears like a fear. We feel like cornered, we feel like bored, we feel like outcasted, we feel like no one. We feel like Citizen John. So we want to be someone and something. So as far as we can't go up to that, bridge the gap, the fear comes. So for the healthy spiritual path, fear is a must. But you have to understand that fear without the hate base, and then it will, you come to know it's a sign of liberation. So it's a thick book, the fear of freedom. The freedom when manifest for the commoner appear like a fear, appear like cornered, appear like alienated, or aloneness, appear like boredom, appear like uncertainty, appear like disinterest, appear like very pale, colorless, food gone stale, and the life become very monotonous. So these are the good sign of liberation. But all for a people with so much ambition appear like something lost. Life become very less dramatic. So you see, the monastic life is very less dramatic. Because daily is the same routine and meeting the same people, same object of meditation, same walking meditation, same timetable. So that itself creating a fear. But therefore, each and every fear has a sign of liberation. And each and every liberating nature has a sign of fear. So therefore, even the liberation comes with hugging hands. You feel, please wait, I am not prepared, come tomorrow. Please wait, I am not ready, come tomorrow. So you are the very person pushing away that liberation, thinking it is something not dramatic enough, not colorful enough, not the sparkling enough. So that when you go beyond 40, little by little you are ready to accept it. When 60 become, you have no way other than it. So you have to be with, because your eyesight is going and hearing is going and you can't walk and everyone is minding their own business. Already you are cornered. So it becomes double fold if you are not a spiritual way. You will confine to the house of elders, and then you know what happened after the death and how the nature of the hell, you can understand. But if you are preparing for the spiritual life, becoming 40 is a kind of a maturity, it's a turning over point. At the 60s, you are going to get the definite sign, and then you will be prepared. So you will be prepared for your old age, you will be prepared for your sickness and everything. So it's a fear, it's a vitamin, kind of a vitamin. So from that only you have to get the vital power to be happy and be here. Don't have any expectation, one split second, one thought moment beyond the present moment. Nothing happy other than this place. No happiness beyond myself. The moment you understand, here now I am, you are already enlightened. Only the thing is, you don't know. You think it is the next day. You think it is you have to go to India or somewhere else. That is the Nibbana is. And you are not the person, you are very sentient, the crime, and you are doing mistakes, and you are full of guilt and all the kind of things. So you are not qualified to be Nibbana. So therefore you are entertaining ancestral guilt. Qualifying, I am not qualified. Always thinking. So the fear has a very good background. So you have to understand the fear of freedom, and then you philosophically you can figure it out how much we are antagonistic to the freedom, antagonistic to the reality, and we are going to compensate with crafty thinking, philosophizing, rationalizing. No way. Venerable Bhante, with regard to the 5 aggregate, it is an immense relief to be just satisfied with nothing. Noting the impingement of an external object on the sense, and not automatically be drawn into forming an opinion about it. However, as a layperson who has not developed much wisdom going about one's daily life, would this behavior come across to others as an feeling and uninvolved with the community? This is called no feeling. Others will complain you as very callous. You have no feeling for the society. You have no feeling for the present trends in the society, because you always be happy and here. You feel like a sick animal going to the corners and just waiting. Others will say they are living go-go life and thinking, creative and productive. And then when you are not communicating with that sense, they will think that you are something wrong. That's the nature. I deeply appreciate the generosity you have shown as donors with your time and wisdom. So this is not very difficult for someone to give the idea and convince what is really happening at the sensuous level. But the thing is how we can season into that with our society at large. Society is at such a cost, such a friction. So we become social means we are jumping ourselves into the charcoal. So isolate as much as possible. Sorry that I am a monk, I can talk. Otherwise that you are going and keeping and touching the same, and you are feel insecure unless otherwise you have your social connections, and you don't know how much you have to pay for that. How difficult to maintain it. And Buddha says, of course this is the social norm, but this is not the only way. There are some alternatives. Alternatives, do away with them and see still you have a balance. Still there is another equilibrium. And one day when I am giving a talk in Kotte, there are 3 grandmas came. 2 of them are my relative, 4. And yet 2, but they are not known to me, but they have listened to my Dhamma talk. And they say that, Bhante, now only we come to know about this truth of the Dhamma. So you see that we are too late, and therefore very difficult to get out of this. And because we have so much bondages, not to the children, but to the grandchildren. Because now we have pension and all the kind of thing. So I told one thing I can tell you. If you are leaving the house, grandchildren will be the most happiest. Because you are making so much of trouble being at home. Don't tell me like that. They are so happy that I am happy back at home. They are giving me sustenance and they are giving me this and that, and therefore they think we are very much necessary for their family life. Then I have to, as far as you are there, you have to tell something. But you go out, they will throw a party. Definitely. Then my sisters and others, they were not happy telling that I am taking something antisocial. But there's one elderly lady, she has been the private secretary of the bank manager. She says, Bhante, you are very correct. When my sister married, she told, Mother, mind your own business, don't come to my family affairs. And therefore, Bhante, now I am renting a separate apartment. I don't have television. I don't have newspaper. I am living there, and sister once in a way come and see, and she is very happy that I am aloof. Because I am not forking fingers to their family life. So I told, that is what I am telling. You make yourself important to the family. You make yourself important to the society. You think that without you, the sun will never come up next day morning in the east. And it will not set in the west in the afternoon, because you are the maker. You are the everyone is doing. I am telling you, if you are not there, family members will throw a party. That much is the correct. So you are making yourself very important. Without that, no balance like. The day you leave, you will understand that is the way we started, and that is the way we are going to end up with. And that is the civilization also. That we were independent. And the social group is necessary, but not for the whole life. I mean, it is not a rigorous imprisonment for the lifetime. So, and get out of the prison. So in order to get out of the prison, you must have your way of life and your well-being and the teaching of the Buddha. And while practicing, you can get the temporary like this, few days out. And again you go there. And again you try. Ultimately, slowly, you can get the distance. More you get the distance, more both the parties will be happy. But it appears like antisocial. So that I am coming from the family, 11 members. and my father and mother, father's elder brother, we had 14 members in our family. Very big house. And my ordination was not appreciated at all, because I am such a social character. Everyone was unhappy, telling that it is a bad sign for the family members because I am renunciating. Renunciation means that running out of the life. So they wanted me to be happy and married and all the kind of thing. So when I am getting up, I decided never to look back to the family members. I managed 20 years. Now I am the best friend of them. Whenever I go there, they are very happy, but I am a monk, they are family running. And so again I can have a complete the aesthetic life with my family members, just like you all. So just before going, I have to convince my two brothers. I mean, one is a Marxist, other one is capitalist. So both of them are having, I told, I have decided, not the time, I have decided within 24 hours to go. And I gave an interview. So one person told, you are completely psychiatric, psychopathic. So you are thinking about the life without money, life without a social distinction, depending on the others. So it is completely out of the situation. So therefore, I suggest you better go to a psychiatrist. Then I told, I am completely accept, but I don't pay for him. I won't pay for the transport. You make an appointment, but only thing, we have to believe what he is telling. Then onward, don't argue with me. I am ready, make an appointment, I will give. Then he told, no, I am telling you, give me a hearing that I am telling. No, I am giving a full hearing. I am going to go to a psychiatrist. What is you suggest? You make an appointment. You give the transport. I will go. Then he withdrew. The other person told, no, if you are here, you are the one of the person earning money for the parents and kind of thing. So therefore, it will be good. Then I don't know. I have a good account created. I will pass it to you. It will give a certain amount of interest, and it will take care about the parents and everything. So even then they told no, that it is a good to be within. Then I told, we were talking like this, and the road is there, and the door is closed. Then I told, now we are under this light, and we open that door, the light will go into the road. The people going to the pedestrian also benefited. Do we feel any lost here? No. But what happens is, some light rays will go out, and it will be more to the society at large, exactly the thing I am going to do. I will not be a loss to you, but I am going to my own thing, and I am going to the society at large, and therefore it is not a kind of a selfish thing. You must not worry about much of that. Whatever the convincing way I am going to tell, they say that I am something deranged, or I am selfish, all the kind. So that at that time I was 36 years old. I have sacrificed without my life, without going to a marriage or any kind of a connection. Even then, being 11 members in the family, this is the hook. So imagine if only one child or something like that. No way. No way. So therefore it is well written. It says that would this come across to others as unfeeling and uninvolved with the community. In Sinhalen කියන්නේ කැක්කුමක් නැහැ. කවුරුත් පිළිබඳ හැඟීමක් නැහැ. That means no feeling. You are very callous. You are not concerned about the others' life. So that is how this the trap is happening. So you have to mind your own business. Otherwise, both the parties are in hell.
Is it okay to have a few good Dhamma friends so that when you're in the lay life you can associate not a lot of people but 2 or 3 families?
So if you are fighting for the lay life, yes. You are always fighting for the lay life, to keep the lay life, and secondary is the liberation and the renunciation and the Nibbana. So I have been participated discussions for maybe 20 years. Everyone wanted to first and foremost protect the privilege of being a lay. So that is why the question happened, Bhante, present day is very heavy. How a lay person can develop mindfulness? How a lay person can live the moral life? Because that you are fighting only for what? Yeah. So you will win. Definitely you are going to win. I am not going to talk against. I am just making a joke. Just making a joke. Your first and foremost is protection. You are in a present agony. Present how do you call misery. That is your first and foremost fighting. In a Nandamani's song it says, Idarinda mata dakinta mage hine. I will give the full-fledged. I am not disturbing you in your dream. I let you to dream as you like and continue your sleep. So you will in your dream. But the Buddha is to asking awakening, even I am a little cautious. Because I don't have all the powers like Buddha. So you are not happy to get awakened because you are losing your dream. So you are in such a rustic rut in a dream, your own dream. So think you are, your privilege, your human right is to protect your dream. So that means you have to be in a sleep situation. But therefore the Buddha alternative as awakening. Supabuddham pabudjanti sada gotama savaka. Yesan divata ratchosya niccang buddha gata sati. If you have the recollection of the Buddha always, you will awaken in a beautiful awakening. Because you are always thinking about the Buddha. Otherwise you are thinking, how can I maintain my lay life? And there is one joke in early papers. In Sinhala only it comes in a proper way. I don't know how to put in Sinhala. Ma me satanin me anabava danimi. They fighting each other. ඒත් මට තුවාල නොකරව. This is the fight we are in. We are vehemently fighting each other. Ma me satani miyawa danuwa jadaya to danuwa. Ma me satani miyanaba danuwa. ඒත් මට තුවාල නොකරව. That is the way we are fighting. So much half-hearted. So much not prepared. So what I am telling is, when the fruit is ripened, it drops. Don't eat sour mangoes. But when you are practicing, a Shian layer comes and it drops. When it is dropping, don't try to bud it again. Never. It cannot. So it is a natural thing. Leave the nature to flourish itself, unfold itself, and be mindful. Don't fight for anything. Definitely you are going to win. That much I will assure. That if you are winning, what you are winning is a misery. Your winning is your own concoction. So therefore just leave the Dhamma to have it again, have it its own way. Reverend sir, yeah.
But this I have a personal question. Why you left this ordinary life and become a monk? And
this is the least frictional path. That I am fully 100 more than anyone of I am very successful even now. Give any job, any instrument, anything, I am successful. I challenge any person. But this is friction. Someone cook can give me the meal, I can sit and meditate. And you, on top of that, you come and respect me also. Why not? Why not? What is the thrill of earning it and eating? You think it is more prouder? No. We are beggars. We are the top class beggars, the Buddha says. My teacher going to say, he was in 88 years old, and he was lying at the 9:30 at the bed, and he was lying down, he was in the happy mood. all of a sudden he told, Dhamma, it is such a thing, we are such a kind of beggars, people come and give the best and pay respect also. All the other beggars give and ask them to get out. But for the monks, they give and please take little more and let me to pay my respect and kind of this. So you see, these are the miracles in the human world. Out of the Buddha's determination, we are not claiming we are enlightened, we are just monks, just going forth. That itself is making such a big difference. So that is the way I was thinking about having a good bank account and get some money and have a very moderate life. So I grow my beard up to this much, hair up to this much, and took a very simple white cloth. Whenever my batchmates are meeting me on the road, they can't recognize me. And I had a very comfortable living. And they are still, my postgraduate director, the secretary also told that I appreciate the way, but the amount you have put into the bank is not enough. Because that the bank rate is going to low in time. So it will be not enough for you. Have a little. I am also thinking that kind of a life. But later I found that depending on that also, it's a kind of obsession. Giving that also. But the thing was that I was about 6 to 7 years searching about a good place where I can live without much of forking fingers. But the monastic life is a hell of a thing. No, it is more than a family life. So you have to have a proper girlfriend, otherwise hell. So in the monastic life also you have to have the real teacher. He's giving you the liberation, not to walk in fingers. On that only it took about 8 to 9 years. And then only I selected the Nissarana, I think perfect. And they give the respect for your renunciation and let you try your noble quest. So therefore, my decision, I am very happy. And then onward, I try to live like a bird. No one should make agenda for me. I don't like. I keep it as much as possible. I try to listen to everyone's invitations. But up to a certain level, everyone has to understand it. But if someone going to say stand up and sit down, then no more. No more. Because my renunciation is not to satisfy anyone. I must have my own time. If I wish, I commit mistakes. If I wish, I live a spiritual life. It is my responsibility. No one come and tell you, this is good for you, this is bad for you. Because Buddha has given the monastic code, I study it, and if I do something, I take the responsibility and go ahead. I think it is difficult in the lay life to do like that. Because so much of obligations and the social kind of thing. But in that sense, the monastic life, and mind you, now I am 20 years senior. The Bhante will know, after becoming 70 years, no one come and point fingers. Because being in the monk's life 20 years, it's not, it's 4 PhDs, 5 PhDs like. And 1 PhD takes only 3 years. This is more than. So after earning that, you live, but you have to not to misuse it. You have to use it for the solitude, and then you find that it's such a the bird with 2 wings. Do as you like. So if you know the gladness that we are in happiness, I doubt whether you will run a family life.
What are your views on female ordination? There's some problems at Amravati. I'm sure you were there. So what are your views on Bhikkhu Nissarana being reinstated?
It has not been so really pressing me, but I know the issues happening, and exactly the same thing in the Bhikkhu Sasana also. In the males, you read the Broken Buddha by Venerable Dhammika, and he explained how much repercussions over there. Not a single place is without problem. So therefore, if you are fighting for that, why not?
So how can we have the confidence of going to the monastic life when we have that kind of friction?
And what is the confidence you have to have no friction in the family life? You know, wherever you go, places won't give any relief. Way of life won't give any relief. The clothing will not give any relief. Shaving your head won't give any relief. It is just an opportunity. So you have to put into the proper use. And whatever it may be. The monastic life that it says that if you are an army person, if you are with the uniform, easier. You are a warrior and you have the army uniform, it is easier. Still you can be lover of the country and the nation but as a uniform, without uniform. This is the uniform, that's all. There is no confidence. No one can give you the confidence that you have to earn it. Mindfulness. Reverend Sir, could you please advise us in how to maintain the steadfastness and how to deal with doubt? For the doubt as a Nissarana or as a hindrance, obsession, it says that the investigating thought is the answer for the doubt. Each time you apply the thought, you must not let the applied thoughts to just to go there and come. You must investigate where the mind applied. So as to say, when the mind is going to the in-breath and out-breath, don't be happy unless you discriminately see this is the in-breath, not out-breath. This is the out-breath, not out-breath. So much of investigation must be there. More and more you have the investigation, less and less chances for the doubt. So doubts are going to meet in number of places. As far as 7 stages of purification, overcoming doubt is the 3rd stage. And as far as the hindrances are concerned, doubt appear. And when you are going on insight meditation also, you come to know, it says that ubhayapakka santirana vasena vichikicca vancheti. That the doubt appear like a balance and justifiable judge comparing this and that like. Ultimately what he is doing is wastage of time. Unwanted thing is weighing up and down due to the lack of resolution, due to the lack of clarity of your this thing, and ultimately you think doubt is a representative of wisdom. So it's a perverted wisdom. So you are wastage of time. So you have to cut off and say, no, nonsense. I have resolute this, I go. That is what I say, the sahasika. You have to be bold and dash through. Even the consequences bad, never mind. Instead, doubt is just wastage of time. So therefore, the overcoming doubt is, more than 80% of your spiritual life. We are here because of our doubts. We have lack of faith. We have wavering mind, bewildered mind. So therefore, we don't know what to do. At a time you do and again withdraw. So you are the very person, it is like when a wire is in the super copper, the conductivity is good. If it's a gold, the best conductivity. If some other materials are there, there's a friction. There's a internal, a little turmoil happens. So when then the mind becomes pure, it can't entertain any doubts. It is the power line is straightened and the transmission happens. When there is a power line is not well aligned, the power transmission is always with the wear and tear. So therefore, overcoming doubt, the faith is the one the Buddha directly give. But in addition to that, if you have the moral integrity, your mind is more prepared. And the third one is to have noble friends. They are resolute. They are just going. The Buddha gave that early time when the cow herds, there's the leader. And the leader is a very steady and it is leading. But there are some young cows, they are trying to show their colors in front of the heifers. So they are sometimes running in front of also the leader and playful. But the Buddha says whenever the herd is going and meet up with the river, the young bulls and jumping, going to lead like, but when the river happens, they come back. But the leader go very steady way and get into the water, go up to the knee level, go up to the down level, and slowly going to swim, and then only the bulls are going to get the inspiration, and then they follow the leader. And then the heifers go and give the support, because bulls are going there, why not we? So ultimately the pregnant cows, ultimately the cow just parturited, also going, and the calf also follow the suit. Because of the leading, the Vrishabha, the leader. It is so resolute, cut through. But all the others also appear like ready to take a challenge, but when the real challenge happens, they are hesitant. So therefore the appearance and the association with the good friends, it is solving a lot of questions.
Yesterday, I've got a Western mind. And yesterday you spoke of cricket, and I thought of a little insect that crawls around on the ground.
Yeah.
And today you spoke of faith, and to my Western mind, it's belief in God. Can you tell me what you mean by faith?
By faith, the faith is that the faith is a kind of a new opportunity and new opening the windows so you to look rather than your cage, rather than your egg. So God is yet another option, and you can have faith upon your own virtues. And the Buddha gave the one particular this thing as yoniso manasikara, the radical reflection or wise reflection, is a very crucial for you to take a bold step. And many would think wise reflection is readily backed by the wisdom. But in Avijja Sutta, the Buddha says the wise reflection is verily backed by faith. Otherwise you are in a rut. You think this I know and I am apply the same principle. When the faith happens, you are ready to do something new. But the difference in the Buddhist and the other religion is this: faith in the Buddhist is verifiable within 7 days or within 7 years. The other way, you have to wait till the death. After the death only you can go and sit behind the God, right side of the God or the purgatory. But in the Buddha says, same faith you need, it is called unfounded faith, that is called amulika saddha. When you are practicing, slowly you are getting the footage up to the amount of mindfulness you have on the breath, so much so you are going to understand the breath due to your investigation. When you go walking, up to that much you are going to understand the natural characteristics of the walking. If you go to the day-to-day activities, up to that you are going to understand the natural characteristics of the day-to-day activities. So much your invested faith is going to give a proportionate result so that you can verify with it. Your direct touch. And that is why it is called radical. It is exactly the same faith, but within the life, not only it is stopping at the superficial faith, it is going to okappana saddha, the penetrating kind of thing. And culminating with realization. That is also within this life. So therefore, faith you must not underestimate. At the beginning you must have, daily. And ultimately you will replace it slowly by your direct touch and the wisdom. And there the wisdom again come and boosting up your faith. This faith is not unfounded one. You can and that faith is again give a chance for the energy, the mindfulness, the concentration, the wisdom. Likewise it is this Dhammachakra, the turning, the momentum going to go. So you can say it's a kind of a deconstruction also. That means that whenever you are going to, you see an ant, you have been killed unknowingly, or you are full of anger, you are ayoniso manasikara means you think it is your duty to be regret. And you think, I am such a miserable person, always commit mistake and I lose my temper like that. But the yoniso manasikara give a new opening so that you deconstruct and see how this misery come into being. So you can see one thought moment before. So you can see it is not coming out of blue, it is a gradual process. So yoniso manasikara asks you to shed the light to the beginning part. And then you can see you are the one responsible. And more you investigate it, you see that the misery you underwent, it's not a necessity. Even without that, you can go to and see what is happening. So therefore, Yoniso Manasikara is pulling you back to the source, giving the preparatory parts. More and more you see the preparatory part, you lose the tension. You understand, more and more you investigate, you can go and see how it is preparing, how it is coming. Therefore, it is, in a way, it is deconstructing and letting you know how the construction happens. So therefore, it is your own direct touch and invite you for you to go more and more to go into the beginning, the initially part. And then you feel it is so juicy, it is so sappy, it is so inviting you to go there and no time for you to regret. If you are regretting, you can't go there. So mind must be, you must try to find a reason to be glad under any circumstances. So you find a reason to be glad in your mistakes.
Is that entwined with the Paradipam, understanding the Paradipam?
That is also part and it's a byproduct of understanding. Is a byproduct. I am giving with some day-to-day examples. Time up. So we have to go for the next event. Okay, we will be meeting here at 2 o'clock for another Dhamma talk.